Hey there.
Hey, how are you?
I am well. I'm so glad that you made it. I'm excited about this.
Me too. Thank you for having me. I'm a fan of you all, so this is
Oh,
awesome.
wow. That
Yes.
means the world. That means the world coming from you. Wow. Okay. So yeah, let's get this party started.
All
I'm
right, let's
Ellen
go.
Wanjiru with blackfilm.com, and I'm chatting with Hollywood rising triple threat Skyh Alvester Black. How are you doing today?
I am absolutely great. How are you?
I'm well. I'm well. I'm better now to be having this conversation with you. I'm a fan.
Oh, thank
For
you.
those that don't know or are living underneath a boulder, Sky is Sky is best known for his role as Jacoby in Sisters and is currently starring as the leading man in BT Plus's All the Queen's Men. Congratulations on all of
Thank
it. How
you.
are you processing all the blessings on blessings?
I am honestly processing minute by minute. It's
Okay.
more minute by minute for me than day by day. I always say I've been telling everyone, and because it's true, and I feel that it may help someone because I would have wanted to hear it when, last year I was valet parking cars last year.
Wow.
Yeah, pre-pandemic, I was a valet parking cars at the West Hollywood edition in Los Angeles from 7 p.m. to 3:30 in the morning, just so I could audition from 9 to 5.
I mean, sometimes we got to do what we got to do to
We
get to
gotta
where
do what we
we're
gotta
going.
do, and I had a catering job on the weekends, so we
Oh,
definitely gotta
wow.
do what we gotta
Okay. So you were busy. I mean, when thinking about, having to make ends meet when you're chasing your dream,
do.
that all aligns beautifully.
Completely.
Yeah. So let's go back a little bit. So I was wonderfully surprised to learn that you are professionally trained in tap and ballet and dance to back up on tour with Beyonce, Mariah Carey, and Rihanna. Like what? And so at what age did dance become a part of your world? And then how did that lead into going on tour with musical icons?
Okay, well, I started dancing around the age of 5, like as
Mm,
as actually having lessons. I remember I was 2 years old and I saw like a Michael Jackson video, and it was Billie Jean, and it's so serendipitous because I actually later on got to dance in his last video that was shown. But I was doing a spin, and I was telling my grandmother, I was raised with my grandparents, and I said, Mom, I want to do that. I want to do that. And I did a spin, and I broke my leg because my tennis shoe caught on the tile.
mm,
And during that time, they said that when I had my cast, they said it broke right above the growth plate. So they said he might not grow as much as he's intended to grow, or he may walk a little funny. When God has a plan,
yeah,
no
won't
man
he do
understand this.
it?
Yeah. And so I started lessons at 5, tap lessons, because my grandmother loved Gregory Hines. The teacher said that if you do ballet, you will be able to pick up the tap steps better because you'll have a classical foundation. So that was a lot for a little kid from the South, raised by his grandparents, So my
Right.
grandparents acquiesced, which was the best thing, 2020 hindsight. And um, I just really I hated ballet. I'll be honest with you. I hated it. I hated it. I didn't understand it. It was culturally different. However,
Mm.
I got into New World School of the Arts in Miami, which is the big art school down there. And I wasn't good. Nope, I wasn't.
No, not even a
No,
little bit.
no. My tap solo was what got me in. And
Okay.
during that time, I had a black male teacher tell me that I would never be a ballet dancer, and it stuck with me. It stuck with me to this day, and I thank him so much
Mm,
for that moment, because if he hadn't have said that, I wouldn't have done it, because I don't know, I'm just the kind of guy, if you tell me I can't do something, you messed up.
right. You're
So
going to do the opposite.
yeah, I put my all and everything into it. And I mean, from changing my body to taking extra outside lessons after school. So I would be in school till 4 o'clock, and then I would go and take extra outside lessons at Miami City Ballet. And I would get home at like 11 and up at 4:30 just to get my homework done and go to school. And I started getting really good. Started getting scholarships and everything to School of American Ballet in New York, and also American Ballet Theater in New York. Actually, Missy Copeland and I entered American Ballet Theater at the same time, same class, same year, and it became this kind of obsession because you can't perfect it. It's art, so you can't perfect it, and you're trying to find ways to just express yourself and the physical demands on your body and striving for this perfection. Now I know that doesn't exist, but it creates such discipline. And I honestly got to a point in I think I became professional at 16. So I got to a point around like 17, 18, I got my first professional contract. And I realized how racist
Ooh,
the world of ballet was.
okay.
And I got a comment from one of my bosses that said, you're great, but you will never see a black prince to a white sugar plum here. And it killed me. I'll be honest. I was a kid, you know. And from then on, I remember calling my grandmother and I said, "Hey, it's nothing like having everything you want, still feeling sad."
Mm.
And so at that time, I left the ballet world and I moved to Los Angeles because I wanted to be a singer. And I sang in the church choir, sang in musical theater, all growing up and everything like that. And so I said I was going to come out to LA and do the music thing. I came out with 4 friends and we stayed in a 1-room studio in North Hollywood and slept on air mattresses. Nobody had a car. I mean, Little Caesars pizzas, everything, the whole nine. And I had a friend that said, "Hey, you should audition for my agency. And you should do commercial work while you're here because of your dance background." And I was kind of like, okay, you know, I knew nothing about the commercial industry.
Sure.
They signed me based on his word and my ballet training. Next thing, I had an audition for Beyonce and Destiny's Child.
Of all people.
Yeah, and I didn't. But the thing that sometimes being a novice is actually your best protection. Because I didn't know. I just went in there and did what I did. And I actually had a friend at the time who was the choreographer's assistant. He's like, "Yo, watch that guy." Because and I said, I went in and I just said I refuse to be the weakest link. And I just, you know, did everything I knew to do because I didn't know the world of commercial dance or hip hop. And I booked the audition. And that started my career as a professional dancer in LA. Never in my life knew that I would be doing this. Yeah.
It was destined. Listen, when preparedness and discipline meets
Yeah.
opportunity, magic
Mm-hmm.
happens.
Yeah,
It sounds like that's the trajectory that you are on.
Yeah, completely. I mean, I'll go first. I never knew I was going to be an actor.
Right.
Ever.
Oh, yeah.
Ever. I had an audition for Debbie Allen. And I was actually late. And I had been on tour for years. And probably at this time, probably about 2 or 3 years. And I come in late. And I see Miss Allen sitting in the corner. I'm like, oh, God.
Dude, first of all, why were you late?
I was new to LA. I didn't know. I did not know how to. I really didn't have a car before I went on tour. So by the time I came off the tour, I had money enough to buy a car. So I'm learning the city, you know. And I couldn't find the address, and GPS was taking me the wrong way. So I finally got to her studios, and I walk in, and usually the big person who like the executive producer is never there. Miss Allen was sitting right in the corner, and I was like, "Oh my God, that's Debbie Allen."
Right.
Oh my gosh, I just effed.
Murphy's Law was yours.
So I come in, and I knew her daughter Vivian from another project we worked on, and she said, "Let me teach you these combinations real quick." I learned the combinations in like 2 minutes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Actually, no, I learned one combination in 2 minutes, another combination in 2 minutes, and then I had to do them. So it was like a 10-minute process, and ballet combination, hip hop combination. And I did it. Miss Allen walked up to me and she said, "Why are you late?" And I said, "I'm so sorry. And why haven't I seen you before?" And I was like, I've been on tour and I'm so sorry. I didn't know how to get here." And so I got the job. And she was like, "You're great. I got the job." And as I was working with her, Miss Allen said, "You know what, honey, I'm going just like this. Honey, I'm gonna turn you into an actor." And I said, "No, you're not." I said, "That's not me." She said, "Honey, you don't know who you are yet."
Ooh.
And that stays with me to this day, because she literally took me under her wing and put me into this, open this world up to me that I had never thought before. And in the beginning, acting for me was a refuge,
Mm.
it was escape from music, because music for me wasn't happening. And I felt a little depressed and guilty. And I'm still dancing and everything, but I knew there was more, and I knew I wanted more. Um, but she opened up this world, and I felt like I could escape and have fun in something that to me at the time wasn't serious. And it was therapeutic. I was having all these feelings, and I could mask my feelings into this area of the arts without being vulnerable on the outside. So, yeah.
Wow. That's that's incredible to hear just on so many levels. So is it safe to assume that that experience, maybe coupled with another one, is what propelled you into acting? Because I'm
Yeah.
curious as to what was that
Yeah.
transitory period.
The transition was, I still, sometimes we're stubborn to our calling, I'll be honest. And I still wanted music. I still wanted it. I still was going after it. I still was pounding the pavement. And it was not coming in, it wasn't manifesting. And I didn't understand why. I mean, I was trained and everything like that. And my music manager said, "Hey, you should take acting class again." And I was like, "Okay." And I was like, "Why?" He's like, "It'll probably help you just like, alleviate stress or anything like that. And it always improves stage presence, even though you've been on stage for your whole life." I said, "Okay, cool." I walked into Tasha Smith's acting TSAW, Tasha Smith's Actors Workshop, on April 23rd of 2018. And I remember it very vividly, because prior to this, um, I've been homeless. I was homeless 3 times, even after an amazing dance career. Just because I said, to start something else, I have to stop this. And I knew I had to. And I wanted to earn it. I didn't want to just kind of like half-ass it. I wanted to really, really earn it. I wanted to experience the struggle that this sector has to experience in order to get where they need to go in their lives. So I went into Tasha's class, and I got reacclimated to just the feelings of being okay to not be okay,
Mm.
and allowing myself as a Black man to be able to feel out loud and not just inside. Because I always say, as a lot of my Black male experience, especially coming from the South, a lot of times we're not able to feel. We're not able to cry. We're not able to be upset, or there's so many things placed upon us um, that we mask as strength,
Right,
and really we're dying inside.
right.
And so it was therapy. It was therapy. I was letting out all these feelings and everything, and I just became obsessed with the craft. And and I said, okay, this is what I'm meant to do. And I remember saying, all right, God, if you want this from me, I'll go for it full force. And I mean, I got a valet job. I've got evicted a couple of times from a couple of places, repossessions. But I felt like I was in purpose. And I remember that date so well, because April 23rd of 2020 was when I got my offer from Sisters.
Mm.
Okay. And I had been, you book things here and there, like co-stars and guest stars, and we're doing the climb. I would now, at that point, if it was a student film, I was going to do it, just as
Whatever
long as
it
I could
was.
do my art. I didn't care what it was, as long as I got IMDb credit and I could do my art. I didn't care what it was, just so I could practice. Um, I auditioned for Tyler 6 times, and that's
Six.
I 6 times. And I think that was very poignant, because I learned the business. It's not
Mm.
always about the talent. It's about the talent married with the look as well, because we are telling a story. So it has to make sense. So I say that to say, no hard feelings. You know, I started learning industry at the same time, which is very much needed to be a successful professional. And I didn't think I was going to get it. I had been pinned. I had callbacks. I didn't think I was going to get it. I think when I got Sisters, I was staying in a one-room apartment with two other people, and I was asleep. And I got a call from my agent and said, "Hey, you just booked Sisters as Jacoby." And I was like, "Oh."
What did you say to yourself in that moment? Like, what was going through your entire being in
I'll
that
be
moment?
honest, I was asleep. So I woke up and I was like, "Oh, this
Dazed and
is cool."
confused?
Yeah, I was like, "Oh, this is awesome." And I was dazed and confused. And then I got my scripts, and there was 11 episodes. And
Wow.
to anyone in the film world, film and TV world, 11 episodes is huge for a recurring. And sometimes, and this is the first time I've said this in an interview.
Oh,
I thought that it was gonna fall through.
why?
I was so used to being disappointed
Hmm.
by that time, and I thought, I'm excited, but I was scared to get too excited because I didn't think it was gonna, what's gonna happen, or maybe this is gonna happen, or da da da. And but it the pandemic came, but
Right.
still, you know, Tyler Perry is incredible. He found a way to this innovative way to make, you know, give us a chance and keep going, and it happened.
And it
It really did
happened,
happen.
and here you are, and I am obsessed with Sisters.
Thank you, thank you.
First of all, you've touched on a whole lot of topics I would love to dive into, but I know I only have a little bit of your time. Um, but with Sisters, you quickly became a fan favorite as Jacoby.
I had
I
no
know
idea.
why. I'm very clear on why that is. I'm curious as to why you thought that was, and how did that inform your character?
I think honestly, my dance background had a lot to do with that,
Mm,
because at TPS we shoot very fast. We shoot extremely fast. We're shooting pages and pages a day. And my scene partner, which is Novi Brown, and I always give her props for, she plays Sabrina.
yeah.
I always give her props for actually helping my success at TPS, because we met up, we went hiking, and she gave me a total rundown. Boom, 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 boom. This is how you have to be in order to, you know, for ample success. And I just went in there and felt like I'm on live stage, and I know how to do that. So I'm gonna sink myself into the character. I always write a backstory. I think I just wrote probably about, I knew Jacoby's mother. He didn't, I mean, of course you don't see in the show he has one, but I knew everything, every facet, his favorite color, his birth date, his why is he like this? I dove myself into this guy so hard. And I feel like I even grew my hair out, because I normally wear my hair like this. And I said, I want to transform. This is my first thing. And so I really took on the transformation of who I felt Jacoby was. And I played him very authentically to what I felt a 26-year-old millennial in the space would be like, with these circumstances. And that was, I think that, I know that attributed to the success. And I had no idea from that I would get all the Queen's Men. I forgot I auditioned for all the Queen's Men before I even auditioned for Sisters.
Oh, okay. And so you forgot about
I forgot about it. Because I mean the pandemic came, and you know you have auditions, and I was just kind of
a
like,
lot going on.
right after I got a call and said, "Hey, you have the lead male role in Tyler's new show, All the Queen's Men," and I said, "No way!" And I remember getting down on my by that time, you know, I got a little 3-bedroom by this time. I had a little money in my pocket,
You're
so
moving on up.
yeah, moving on up. And I got down on my knee. I said, "Thank you, God," and tears came down my eyes.
Mm.
And my hats off always to Christian Keys.
Oh,
Christian Keys, because he told me, he said, "I saw you," and I said, "That's Amp." And Christian had been writing this for 10 years. So it was his baby. And for him to allow me to have the lead role with his baby, that meant the world to me, because I've been a fan of Christian. I always tell Christian, I said, "You made a way for us beige boys." and and it's, I'm so grateful for the response. I'm so grateful. I had no idea the response would be like this.
and it's huge. I am equally obsessed with All the Queen's Men. I
Thank
binged
you
on it
so
in
much.
one night. I could
Yes,
not get
thank you.
enough. It's insane. And so what I appreciate about the series, I mean, besides the male exotic dancers, of course, is the storyline, right? It's
Yeah.
raw, it's unfiltered, it's intriguing. Like there's a lot going on. Can you talk a bit about the premise and who your character Amp is?
Yes. Amp is the fish out of water, and he's not the average kid that just goes into prison for something bad. Amp, and to me, I have Amp coming from a background of middle class in Atlanta, like a star athlete. He was in college, has the girlfriend, the whole nine, and he was a kid that made a bad decision. And in one blink of an eye, that bad decision and him killing his girlfriend by a car accident from drunk driving changed the course of his life. And to me, I always wondered, why did Amp have a drinking problem? To escape the realities and the pressures of being this star athlete and having the parents that he had, that these elitist parents, and not wanting to disappoint them. Again, mental health, not being able to talk out loud, so we drown our sorrows elsewhere. And that changed the trajectory of his life. So now we come into this new world of he's a fish out of water.
Yeah.
And the only person who will embrace him is his aunt, which is Madam, which is played by Eva. And so Eva and I connect on Madam and Amp connect on the commonality of pain because she's an outcast of the family and because she's this gangster, like a super powerful gangster.
Right.
And he is like her son of sorts. So Amp comes in with all these circumstances, just trying to rebuild his life and trying to find a way to do it while also mitigating PTSD and I mean, you've been in prison for 9 years. So he went
That's
in it. Yeah, he
yeah.
went in in 2012 as a kid, and you coming out at 2000. I'm sorry, 2021 at 28. So it's a lot of wait, where am I? Like what's happening? Or just trying to acclimate himself back into society. So that's why I love it. He's so layered and almost innocent to a degree.
Absolutely. I think that's one of the main things that made me or allowed me to connect with Amp,
Hmm.
and what he stands for and who he's trying to be. I especially love the scene between Amp and Dime, who's played by Candace Maxwell,
Yeah,
in
Candace
episode
is awesome.
9, right? When Amp asks, "Is this for me? What am I doing with my future?" I felt that in my soul, let me tell you. And it was at that moment that I was like, okay, this character is a lot layered. He's relatable on multiple levels, and I love that.
I've lived that. That that
Exactly.
that line it hit me personally, and I said, and I just watched something with Kerry Washington and while right before this interview, and like I said in the beginning, you love acting because it's refuge. You can be this person and escape your daily troubles. However, you start to realize, no, this is stuff I need to find within myself. Like these are reflectors. Like every character, no matter what it is, they've been a reflection of me, like a part of me. So when that line is so poignant, like, is this me? And I asked myself that in 2019 when with parking cars, you know,
Right.
am I doing the right thing or getting so close and it not happening? So yeah, I identify with Amp in a lot of ways I identify with all the characters I've been blessed to play so far.
Yeah.
So
I feel like that's a question that comes up a lot when dreams are being chased, and
completely,
that's something that
completely.
everyone can identify with in some way, shape, or form. So there's a lot to this show that meets the eye, and I think that's what's so unique about it. You go in thinking it's one thing, and then you unpack a lot of different themes
Yeah, I
and
mean, even on other guys' storylines, it's kind of like it gives you a
yeah,
deeper eye into it's more than meets the eye. These guys are not just on here just when you see this community that's in the real world been so taboo for so many years,
right.
when you see it, it's like, oh no, these are real people with real problems that have backgrounds and they're just trying to find a way. And I always say the silent character in our show is Club Eden. because it brings all these quote unquote social misfits together to create this beautiful family.
Right. Yeah. I couldn't have said it better. So what else can we look forward to from you? Like, what's the next project you have coming up?
The next project is Lace on All Black AMC. It is a legal drama, and I'm really excited about it. It comes out November 4th.
Okay.
And I'm very excited about that. I play Othello, which is he's the leading male to Lace, who is also she is the one who runs the actual firm,
Yes.
law firm. And what I do love about playing Othello is he's more of a James Bond type character, but I love that they allowed me to keep my actual tattoos. And for me, that is really big to see for the young Black male out there and the young Black female out there, and it doesn't stereotype what a lawyer, a high-powered Harvard attorney should look like.
So you play a lawyer that's tatted up.
Yes, yes, I play a lawyer that's tatted.
I love it. Okay.
And Black Monday is also streaming on Showtime right now. So I had the opportunity to work with Regina Hall and Don Cheadle, which was I'm still speechless. You see me right now? Like I mean they're greats. So being a recurring on there, I was like, wow, like are you serious? So and I do have a couple of other things that actually I can't really say anything, but there's more stuff that I'm in the process right now. So I'm just really excited, and I'm grateful for the hardships, because without the hardships, you can't be who you are in the present. And they're not hardships. It's more like training. I always call it training. Like when you go to the gym and you want bigger muscles or want to lose weight, it takes a sacrifice so to get what you want. So God, hard work, and sacrifice has always been my like recipe. So
nice.
There we
are. When efforts need to meet expectations.
Completely. Oh, that's good. I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna put that on an Instagram caption.
Listen, just at me on that.
I will.
So, any plans to make things happen behind the camera? Like, is that something you're interested in?
Oh, okay. Completely. I'm actually delving into producing right now and optioning a couple scripts that I'm interested in and stories that I want to tell, and I do want to get to a point to where I'm a way maker for others. And even if I'm not starring in it, I have so many talented friends. Like people always ask me, well, who do you want to work with? And there's a lot of people I admire that, of course, the greats, but I have a lot of people on the side of me that I look to. I'm like, here, and there are some talented people that just haven't gotten their chance yet. And I want to get to a point in my career where if I'm producing for myself and doing text, because I love film. I'm a film head. I love film. So I would love to tell stories that I'm interested in, but I also want to tell stories that may fit other people, or I can say, hey, I think you're great for this. Is there a way that we can make your dreams come true? Like Tyler.
I fully support networking across in addition to networking up.
Me too.
And I wish a lot more people would do that, especially us, people that look like us.
Yeah, completely. I said 100 times over, completely.
And so music-wise, just to wind this down, so I was low-key stalking you on YouTube, just seeing what the singing chops are looking like, and you got it. And so I was especially drawn to the acoustic mashup of your Sam Smith, Make It To Me, and Janet Jackson's Come Back To Me. I was thinking like Luther Vandross came to mind, David Ruffin came to, like my mind was all over the place looking at that. So like music-wise, is that something you're planning on diving into? You got an EP coming out, like what can you tell us?
You know, I don't know. I don't know what that holds. I've literally gotten so many questions about that. Like, are you gonna delve back into music? And the answer is, I don't know. Right. I honestly don't know. And I think it's okay to say I don't know. That's one of my things. I've been learning to say it's okay to say I don't know. It's okay to say I need help, and it's okay to say I don't feel well today.
I love that.
Self-care is paramount, you know. But I don't know. That particular mashup is special to me because my granddad, who raised me, my grandparents raised me, like I said, he just passed away, and somebody sent it to me actually 3 days ago, and I listened to it, and it was nostalgic because I remember he had passed like 2 months before, and that come back to me was very. It came from a place, man. It came from a place. So I think if I did it now, for me, it would just be for fun at this point right now. I'm so open to possibilities. I'm so open to possibilities. So maybe not. I don't know who's to say, but I'm really like I'm in my acting bag now, man. I love this thing. I've worked for it. You know, I'm here. So you never know. Maybe I'll have a role where I have to sing, which would be cool. So
Yeah. You are something special.
thank you so
The
much.
greatness is just emitting off of you. I feel it, and I feel it, and not to toot my own horn. Greatness recognizes greatness.
Hey, come on.
Listen, but my Instagram @ name is Ellen the Great. Like literally, I'm coming from a place where I've just kind of, immersed myself in the purpose of being great beyond just myself, right?
You have to.
And how that kind of trickles out into other people.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much for talking with blackfilm.com and for your candor. I look forward to your continued progression because it's gonna be great, Skyh.
Thank you. And thank you for, I never want to discount the time of others. So thank you for taking the time to talk to me. Thank you for being interested in me. I thank you for watching All the Queen's Men and being a fan of sisters and Black content. And most importantly, thank you for giving us an outlet where we can be seen. Black film, that means a lot, so I'm very, very grateful for the opportunity.
We appreciate you. We appreciate you and look forward to having this conversation again in future projects.
Okay, awesome.
All right.
Go be great, Ellen. Continue to be great.
And you go be great, Skyh. Continue. All right.
Have an awesome day.